How's it going, everyone? Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome back to my premium tank list. Today we're going to be talking about the Bourrasque. Now this thing I really don't enjoy most of the time. It's like the problem with this tank is that I just cannot stand the gun. Everything else about it, amazing. Like literally amazing. It's a very, very good tank in the sense of it can kind of play as the scout if you don't have a scout, which is why I have this setup with optics, and then I have another setup which is literally only for Progetto. I'm not joking, only for Progetto. I wouldn't use this on any other map, like at all, and if there isn't a light tank. Although you can kind of use it even if there is a light tank, just because you'll then get some spotting as well. Because with this, you're obviously going to negate any bushes and stuff like that, and also on the move. And then you also have the optics, and you have 501 meters view range, which matches basically light tanks. Added to that, you have 43% camo when stationary, which is super good. And I still use a stabilizer on this because here's the thing. The soft stats of this vehicle are really, really good for stabilization. It gets 0.10 for basically all of it. So that's on the move, in tank traverse, and for the turret traverse. However, if you put a stab on it, it's then going to negate that even more. So you have a really bad aim time, and if you try and keep the tank where it doesn't bloom that much, you don't need to worry about the aim time as much. The other way of doing it is if you used a gun lane drive instead, which basically can provide with the same kind of way, because you do still get good stats, but then the aim time's coming down as well. So it's up to you which way you want to go. This is a tank that you could genuinely use a gun lane drive on, and there's not really very many of them left in the game, in my opinion. But for now, we're just going to be using stabilizers. I think actually I done like a review of this tank like ages ago, and I said you don't really need stabs because you kind of don't. And I even used gun lane drive in that. So if you want to go and watch that, then you can. Anyway, let's get into some games. We are going to be using this setup for the majority of it. And we have 2014-2. Let's go and make some credits, and we'll talk more about the tank. Okay, so we are on Lakeville. Now, the problem with this is that it is a tier 10 game, and I don't really want to be spotted at all early on. So we're just going to wait here and play a little bit passively. And we're going to see if we spot anyone that's trying to make the aggressive push. And also look out for any, like, you know... Oh. Oh, there you go. Look. 2 out of 2. See, the gun is amazing. I genuinely don't even know how the first shot hit. I thought I missed the first shell, but obviously it didn't. But yeah, that's a good start. I don't think we're going to be able to like shoot him again, but maybe we will. Who knows? We're not really going to be able to shoot the Renegade or that IS-32. I mean, maybe we can try and get a shot on people as they're crossing. No, worth a try. Yeah, as I said, we're just going to be playing this a little bit passively. We don't need to push in. We don't need to do anything, you know, heroic or anything like that. It is a tier 10 game. We could be potentially one shot by Yak Panzer 100, which is very fun. But we're just going to be playing patiently. That's all that we really need to do. We need to be keeping an eye on the other side here as well, where the 140 and the Carnarvon are pushing through. Because obviously that Patriot is not going to last too long. And the majority of our team has actually gone to the city. Including like our tier 9, like the VK, which I don't really blame him, to be honest. Like, he doesn't really have the gun depression to play in the valley, but let's see. I've loaded APCR because we are going to be facing off against some more heavily armored targets, and the problem with this, like, you only get 190 on the standard rounds and then 240 on the premium rounds. So you don't really get that good of rounds penetration wise. So that's why you'll see a lot of Bourrasque drivers just firing premium, because it is genuinely just better. But let's see. We may be able to get some nice shots here onto the 140 if he's going to be trying to peak. A second. We can also over peak this and get some shots into this. Go back. See if the 140 wants to peak. He doesn't. We're going to go for the reload. We're not making great trades at the moment. I mean, we traded, what, like 300 for 270. So we've received half of our hit points, but we've done 1.5k, which is not great, but not terrible. We probably could have avoided that, to be honest. The Cobra is going to scare me, actually, quite a lot. Because that thing can... it's a little bit of a shame. Is he going to peek this? Oh, go on, go on, go on. Do it. Come on, 140. He's tracked. Oh. 140 actually playing smart and went down. Okay. I need you to come back. Please, help. This is quite bad. I need to go all the way back. Like, this is the thing. Like, I can't realistically play against this. Although it is a Cobra, so he's probably on reload. Didn't really have a shot there. Okay, I just need to keep going back. I need to not contest this. And just move back. 140 is going to shoot the LC. I believe that's the 140 in the cap, but it could also be the Cobra, which is even more worrying. Let's see if we can... Cobra can one-shot me. That is actually the Cobra that's in the cap, which is not good. I'm going to go for a reload and back off. We have 1 minute left still, that's fine. Is this guy going to push me? He is. The 140 is coming for me. Oh dear. Okay, well, I'm going to try. Ah, that's actually a shame. I think that I die here, to be honest. I mean, 140 is pushing over, but he should receive some hits. No, everyone's dead. I think we just about done it. I think. Yeah, they don't have time. Why would you leave the cap? He says don't cap. Hang on. Don't cap. Are you mental? You ain't getting back in time? Man, there's a time and place for not capping, but like you are not getting back there to get any form of damage out of that. Well, we get 125k, which is not bad. 2.2k damage. Second on damage in a tier 10 game. What I should have probably done is just shot the Cobra instead of the Hawk 30. But, I mean, it didn't really make any difference in the end. Yeah, we did have an RT who could have decapped and done it, but you're relying on the RT to actually, you know, do that. Whereas it's better just to cap. Like, if this guy misses somehow, then you lost. So it's not worth not capping there. Okay. Let's move on to our next game. Okay, we are now on Fjords. Well, I mean, I guess we're just going to sit here for a little bit. Yep. I think we are going to sit here and do absolutely nothing. Because it's not really worth doing anything early on in the game. You might as well just sit here, try and get some spotting done, and then move on with your life once the game progresses. Already our even 90 has died. Lovely. Interesting play from this FV. To just cross the open like that. I mean, he got away with it. Well. Sort of. I should probably move around a little bit, to be honest. Let's move around. See if we can get some shots on people. If we move to about here, we should be able to shoot the hill pretty reliably and be relatively safe as well. Alright, that's going to get me spotted. Okay, apparently not. I guess he was actually behind that a lot more than I thought. However, we may be able to shoot some TDs in a second. Let's see. We are ready. Unless this guy's just going to sit here and spot like the heavies and stuff. .190 pen against the side of a T28 isn't enough. Especially at this distance. Like, how far away is he? I don't know. Like, maybe that's, you know, 450 meters almost, so... yeah. Not really going to be enough, is it? Man. Like... this is not good. This is why you just spam gold in this tank. That's a rock. Lovely. Now, I think this is me dead here. Lovely. I need to try and run away, but we probably won't. And this game is 1-9. Lovely. Very nice team balancing once again. And nobody knows how to actually fix it, because it is nearly impossible. I don't have gun depression to shoot this. I don't really know what I can do here. Well, there we go. That is literally as much as I'm going to get out of this game. Hi, Bourrasque. Yep. Like, it's kind of insane how these shells just do not pen at distance. Enemies. The T28. Like, this one hit low. This one hit here. Like, never going to pen. Right? This one, though, I was aiming here. And it goes over there. And then this one just goes into the tracks again. Lovely. So none of my shells actually hit where I wanted them to hit, which is good. I don't even know how this penned, to be honest. Like that. That's a very lucky hit. This is why I don't like this tank. It's just, the gun is so bad on it. Like, unbelievably bad. And I suppose you could just get rid of this. And choose, you know, like this. But, like, you could also just go for that. I mean, probably this is the best setup, I guess. And then you could also choose this, so then it goes down to 0.32. Probably the best, I guess. For full gun handling. Then you have that for scouting. Yeah, I guess so. Well, we'll play our third and final game with this setup and see if that helps out at all. Okay, so we are now on Empire's border. We're going to rush to the middle to see if we can get some early shots on people crossing. And from there, we'll decide what we can do. That's the plan anyway. Probably won't work out in the way that I think it will. And we have arrived. I'm going to go up this side to try and get as much as I don't have gun depression, which is lovely. Well, I was going to say, we go up this side, which is the safer side, because then you don't get shot by TDs and stuff, but... Alright, let's kill this. Why is he allowed to peek that? Really? Okay. Alright, well, now we need to run away. At least we killed the light tank for it, I guess. Now it's going to be a constant battle of where to go. Right, we need to fire premium here. Against the Conqueror, especially at this kind of range. Like, 190 pen is just pathetic at this range. Go forwards, knock these trees over. And I can pull back, and I shouldn't get spotted when I fire. As if this Conqueror is even going to push. Which I'm not so sure. No, okay. Now we are going to need premium rounds for you, sir. Alright, we're going to load normal rounds. Okay. He just goes side on now, as soon as I'm out of ammo. Okay. I mean, we didn't get spotted for that, so I suppose that's good. I need to go back. He still has enough gun depression to shoot me, though. How did a Patriot not get spotted when they pushed? It's mental. It went from I thought we were going to win this to suddenly a Patriot has now appeared on that flank. Obviously we have loaded gold because at distance this thing is awful with penetration. Although to be fair, APCR distance is probably actually close to the 190 at this range. There's still a Bourrasque that hasn't been spotted either. Interesting. I don't know if the Bourrasque is up over there or not. Just kind of scary. Don't know what health the E75's on. Concept, can we not just go and kill this E75? Like, oh man, what are you doing? Okay, let's go. Let's go and see if we can just shoot this E75 twice in the back. Good. It's good for us. He's now put his arse against the wall. Should be able to load just standard rounds against this guy though. You gonna go left here? How can I not pen that? That's actually unreal. The Bourrasque is dead. Okay. Alright. Well. I mean, we get one more in. But this game's pretty much over now. Okay. Well, not really a very good game, but whatever. 140k profit. We actually take home 78k. Because obviously we have food and stuff. I don't know. I just think that this tank is just so overrated. Like, Like, people seem to think that this tank is amazing. But it's just not. Like, I hate the gun on this thing. If this thing had a good gun, it would be great. But it's just not. And like, for some people, the gun behaves so well. But then for others, like, it just doesn't. Like, sure, it has a great, like, you know, scouting capability and stuff like that. But I honestly don't understand people that can compare this thing to a Progetto and say that Bourrasque is better than a Progetto. Because it just isn't. It's nowhere close to the Progetto. What is this setup that I have? Hello? That's not meant to be on there. Whatever. I don't have another V-stab available at the moment. Like, this thing is not comparable to the Progetto. The Progetto has similar speed. It's not that similar, but you know, it's good enough speed. And yeah, sure, you can't really scout with the Progetto the same way that you can the Bourrasque, but like, you still have enough view range for it. Like, if you really need to, you could. And the gun is just insanely good. The gun is so much better than the Bourrasque gun. Like, it's unbelievably better. Not to mention that it has a lot more hit points as well. Like, some people are going to tell you that this thing is like a must-have tank. And it's the best premium tank. But in my opinion, it's not. And the reason why it's not in the must-have, and it's not even in like any of the other sections on my like list that I have, is that this tank can be insane if it's in the right type of environment. And like, it goes from being just okay to really, really good. Like, if you need to be able to scout and at the same time be able to deal some damage, you're never going to be able to snipe with this thing, realistically. At the same time, you don't have the armor or the hit points to go in. So you're kind of forced to snipe. Like in that situation, like when I went in, we hit the 2 shells, we run away, you know, that's great. But like, you can only really afford to do that once or twice in a game. Because then you've just taken a load of shots, so your hit points are down, and you can't afford to do that again. Like with the Progetto, you could just keep peeking that corner. You could keep peeking that corner and just wait on the reload of the enemy. Because you have that better reload time. You know, you're reloading every 6.2 seconds. And then you can, you know, stack your clip up as well. It's really nice, actually. I suppose potential combined, you would get a lot more out of the Bourrasque. Just because you can play in that kind of scouting role. And I suppose that is why it is a lot higher to mark, or a lot harder to mark than the Progetto. As you can see, like 2.8k is about 87%. And for this, you know, 2.7, let's say, is about 80%. Yeah, I can see why it's higher, because it does have the capability of, you know, the better camo, and you can actually scout with the vehicle. Whereas the Progetto, you can't really do that. What I'm trying to say is, I would watch a lot of reviews on this tank. And I mean a lot. And see what people actually say about this tank. Because I cannot tell you, in good faith, to go and, yes, you should spend your money on this tank. Because it's not a tank that a lot of people are going to enjoy, actually. Because the gun is super unreliable. No matter what you're using. Like, you even saw, like, even when we were using the gun handling setup, it's still derpy. So it really depends on you. It really does. If you want to play this tank as a scout, then yeah, it's probably worth your money, I guess. But like, I don't know. Like, in any other sense, it's not. If I had the choice between this and a Progetto, I'd pick the Progetto every single time. The Progetto is the best tier 8 medium tank, in my opinion. The best. And I mean in the game. I don't just mean the best tier 8 medium tank out of the premiums. I mean overall. Even tech tree tanks. Anyway, I'd love to see the absolute shitstorm. Yeah, that's the one. For me saying that this tank isn't very good. There's no way of me saying that nicely, to be honest. It's just not. So yeah, I'd love to see your opinion. And I know I'm going to annoy a lot of people by saying that I prefer the Progetto over this, but I do. So yeah, whatever. It's my tier list, and that's my final opinion on it. Hope you have a very good rest of your day, and hope you have a very good weekend, and I'll see you all in the next video.